Hello everyone. Today it is the 24th of December 2024, 24/12/24. I'm recording this with a disclaimer, meaning many of the content here in this video will be more or less speculative. However, it's important that when my brain connects dots throughout historical events and current events, there's a high likelihood that the connection is real. Now, I will connect two videos which are on YouTube. One of them is by Homestead Off Grid. He described his encounter with one of these phenomena. I don't want to talk more about it. What and how he felt after he met one of the orbs. And the other video I'd like to connect is from Tech Chasm, who described Steven Greer's idea that the phenomena what we are seeing now are actually the products of 75 years secret developments. And Tech Chasm criticized and argued that it would be unbelievable that companies which are barely able to construct rockets have been able to construct anti-gravity crafts for more than 60 years. Okay, the connection of the two videos will be probably in the last 3 minutes of this one. It's gonna be quite weird. First, I need to explain how my language makes my brain think about or asking questions about the big picture all the time. And sometimes intuitively my brain can connect very distinct dots. So my language, it's Hungarian, and it is highly different from English. English is an individualistic language. It's Indo-European, and English derives everything from the individual, and from the individual this language makes the brain think towards the general. Meanwhile, the Hungarian derives the individual from the general. Now, I believe my language is just lucky, and how I am forced to think all the time is just a lucky way, a different way. Now, just some example to make you understand how it works. English language uses addresses starting from the numbers. So let's say I will go to visit my colleagues at 2:30, and they work at 80 Macandrew Road, Dunedin, New Zealand. And you can see the number comes first, then the street, and then the city or township. Now in Hungarian it is really odd, but one of my recent or last addresses in Hungary was actually 29 Margit Street, Budapest. And in Hungarian we say the city first, Budapest, Margit Street, 29. So it's completely different. Same goes with names. We say family name first and then the first name. Meanwhile, in English it comes differently, completely differently. Because our language expresses that we are part of the whole, not the whole is made up by the individual. And this creates whole bunches of weird connections in my brain, but usually they work. As far as I understood so far, it's pretty good. Now you can see some sunbeams in the screen. It's actually pretty nice. Oh wow. Maybe I am already washed by these phenomena. Anyway, so this is about my general thinking, how and why my brain asks questions and tries to figure out the big picture and connect dots very far, even geographically or in historical time. Okay, now secondly, I need to explain to you two stories from Hungary, and one of the stories comes from the 1980s, early 1990s. The other one comes from the early 2010s. In the late 1980s, early 1990s, there was one Hungarian physicist who was also part of the academia, who published various books about forbidden inventions and space, vacuum, quantum technology and energy fields, bulb lightnings. And oddly enough, this guy argued that with very simplistic tools, the zero-point energy and anti-gravity propulsion can be accessed. And he published various bizarre videos about, even with household tools, how he could construct various energy fields. And it was all bizarre. George Egeli, or Egeli George, was his name. And now you will see the connection here. Part of the connection is that, yeah, theoretically anti-gravity and the zero-point energy have been known for humanity for pretty long, since quantum mechanics became the mainstream of physics in the 1920s. So it's not out of the blue, absolutely not. And this scientist Egeli could show that with very simplistic tools we could access this. Now, what was the problem? Safe operation. It wasn't safe. In all his published videos, anytime when I watched them, anytime, and all of them had, when the machines were switched on, after a couple of seconds warming up, all of them had a very uncomfortable scratching noise. It's unmistakable. It's very. It was difficult to hear. It was accompanied by lightnings, but that's not the case. The noise was the most disturbing part. Okay, coming to the early 2010s, there was one Hungarian entrepreneur who also intended to explore zero-point energy, but he was the owner of one of the electronic corporates which was in operation already in the communist era. That company was producing television sets, and one of the sets was called Color Star, and during the 1980s, Color Star televisions often blew up and caused household fires. It was a comic relief during that time, and the sets were withdrawn from the market. Now, the entrepreneur who could privatize that corporate was a right-wing entrepreneur, and he wanted to impress the new Hungarian leader Orban in the early 2010s, and he attempted to explore the zero point energy. And because he wanted to keep his research in secret, he could just let the public know about the progress in mysterious tweets. And once he wrote a tweet that yesterday our little bird could fly for an hour, and later on it became clear that he was experiencing the zero point energy, but the safe operation was not achievable. There is some technical barriers why humanity could not yet access it. However, for some time, even Egeli and this entrepreneur Gábor Széles could enter into that quantum field and explore zero point energy. Why is this important? As I mentioned, none of them could manage safe operation. Here comes the connection. I believe these crafts in the air can access some sort of zero point energy, and they can use this as propulsion. Safe operability? Now that might not be resolved. And this is why Homestead Off Grid could report why he felt bad, why he felt sick after he viewed this. And this can also resolve the connection to Tech Chasm, namely these corporates were not able to access and safely operate zero point energy and anti-gravity propulsion. Yeah, they can't, but at a very low beginning level it's possible. So these crafts can indeed fly intermedium, and yeah, when they come close to humans they may incur some sickness. Now I end with a low note here, which is all of the colleagues of George Egeli, rumor has it they died of cancer. So it's not something easy. Now what I would recommend is anyone who can watch this, try to improve our own immune system, eat fiber. Garlic is best. Garlic is best natural medicine against cancer, and drink many fluids, and try to avoid alcohol, sugar, because those are the food that may create problems for your guts, and immunity depends mostly on your gut health. So yeah, this is what I have for you today. Not the best Christmas. That's what we have. Take care, guys. See you in the next one.